Hi everyone, this is Sarita with DivineDivaBeauty.com. I'm coming back at you with a recap of the Basketball Wives of LA, the second episode. Let's get this started. First off, at the beginning of the show, Malaysia and Laura, Gloria Govan's sister, they met, and I'm glad they were able to hash out their disagreement because they was throwing blows on last episode. So yeah, I'm glad they came to an agreement on all that. But you know what? Okay, let me rewind here because I didn't actually do a recap on the last episode, which was the very first premiere episode of the show. Let me go back and kind of do a little bit of that first before we go into this one. Just a breakdown of each lady here. First off, Gloria, like I said last time, my opinion really hasn't changed about her. Laura, when I first saw her, I'm like, this is the woman that Shaq cheated on Shawnee with? Because, it's like, really? She's not, I guess I was expecting more in the looks department for her. Not saying that she's ugly, but, some of these other women, they be like, they be some bad women, and she just didn't show me much. And yeah, I take, and granted, she did just have a baby 3 weeks ago and everything else, but I'm like, dang, I just expected so much more from her. I'm like, okay. But I like her personality, even though she's, she should have been fighting with Malaysia and everything and calling her a rat and hood rat and all that kind of stuff. I like her personality because it seems like her personality seems more dimensional, three-dimensional to me than Gloria's. Gloria just she just flatlines with me. Laura seems the more interesting of the two sisters, and she has a lot more that I want to see from her. I'm like, okay, she's caught my interest. I want to see, more of her on the show and see her personality develops through all of this. So, Gloria, thumbs down. Laura, thumbs up. I like her. Kimsha Artest. She was probably the most realist of all the ladies on the show. My only thing with Kimsha is this. I understand that you want to, maintain your realness and, you want to, come across as not being fazed by the luxury and the millions of dollars that your husband has, earned from his years in the league and everything else. But this is my thing. Just because, I understand wanting to be real and everything, money, it shouldn't really change your personality, or if anything, money should make your personality better. But it ought to improve your fashion sense, girl. Come on now. Really. She looks like she shops where I shop. And, when you have a husband that's a basketball player making millions of dollars, groupies are already going to be coming at him wearing Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, all that stuff, and you wearing, like, Target clothes. You need to kind of step your game up a little bit. I don't know how things are going right now, but kind of step your game a little bit, I'm just trying to give you some good advice there, if she watches this. Imani, she still seems kind of fake. Imani was, up until this second episode, she was looking really boring to me. She's beautiful, don't get me wrong, and she seems to carry herself with a lot of class, but she's just kind of boring, really. Up until, like I said, tonight's episode. Well, the second episode. Malaysia, she seems really at home with her sisters and everything, but when she got on the ladies the first night they all met, I guess, she was kind of like standoffish and wasn't really, trying to conversate with them or interact really. You can't be like that amongst a group of women, because last thing you want to be labeled as is being stuck up, so. I think her first impression wasn't the greatest one. I think now she's probably making a better impression on the ladies and everything. So hopefully, I'm pulling for Malaysia. I actually like her. It's just that she's a cute girl, It's that she needs to kind of work on her personality and interacting with the other ladies. Jackie, isn't she a little old for this show? She looks like she ought to be somebody's grandma. Is she somebody's grandma? You know what? I think she might be, but she got some grown kids, so she might be somebody's grandma right now. But she kind of old to be on this show to me, but, that's just my opinion. Ain't no age discrimination or nothing, but, she ought to be, ain't she going through menopause? She must be going through menopause or something. She seems alright, but she's kind of, like she didn't had one hot flash too many or something. But, I don't get the whole thing with having a wedding every year. Some of that money could be put to so much better use. That's kind of a waste of money. And Draya Michele. We're going to get to Draya Michele in just a minute. At first, I was like, that's not really right of them to really be free, to judge this girl without really knowing her and everything else, and, you know, just kind of coming at her like, you know, like they are. But we're going to come back to that. And Tanya, why did they even have her butt on there? I mean, I respect the fact that she's supposed to be some type of motivational speaker, but, I mean, I've met people that are professional speakers. Had to be a motivational speaker when you're not at a motivational speaking seminar. And everything, like, Imani did call that right, everything she said was such a generic quote, you know, sound like everything that she said was a generic quote from a self-help book. And Imani did call that right. She read her good on that one. But, you know, Tanya just like, enough of her already. Give me your book, let me read it, and I already know who you are and everything about you. Bye. Basically. I will say this, and this is going into the second episode of the show. They were all coming down on Tanya for not wanting to jump in and help them break up the two girls. Hell, she already, but I mean, come on. Laura in Malaysia, they already had, what, 3 or 4 other women trying to break up the fight? So why did Tanya need to jump in? And plus, I'm like Tanya too. You know, the environment was already hostile and crazy and high drama as it was. What help was she going to do by trying to break it up, really? And, you know, I really think that this show probably isn't her thing. And I noticed when I went to go look at VH1.com that she's no longer listed in the casting for the show. So, I mean, she just isn't, you know, I don't think she would have fit in right. It would have just been like a square peg. And she just, yeah, she needs to take her platinum blonde dreads and silver lipstick. And, yeah, it was best for her to go anyway, so. But at any rate, moving on to Draya. I mean, the paintball thing, whoop-de-doo, it was okay. But the scene where they were talking at the table, having lunch after the paintball fight, Imani was just really going in on that girl. You know, at first I'm like, you know, why is she going in on her so hard like that? And, you know, Draya was just trying to ask if she knew her from somewhere before, because Draya thought, you know, Draya, she's sociable. She's been with, you know, basketball players and, you know, celebrities, so she thought she had seen Imani somewhere before. You know, Imani was like being all, you know, shysty with her, and at first I didn't really get all that. I'm like, what is up with that? And Imani was just really, I mean, going in on the girl. I'm like, hey, she's just now getting to know everybody, and despite the fact, you know, what she done told you about her lifestyle, at least she was honest, you know, we have to give it to her. At least she was honest to say, hey, yeah, I do this, I've done this, and, you know, A, B, and C. But, you know, first I didn't really understand that, and not saying the things that I found out later didn't, you know, justify Imani's behavior towards her, but, you know, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of this. All women have done something in their past that they're not proud of, and you may have had a season of doing things in your life that you're not proud of. But for another woman to come in and just go in on you and be all judgmental, that, you know, I've been there before. And that's not, you know, that kind of stuff isn't appreciated. You know, it's like, you know, because what I hate is like when, you know, women, you know, especially, you know, if you know, we all know most of us ain't no virgins. We done probably done some quote unquote hoe shit sometime or another in our lives. And it's like, and for another woman to jump on or go in on another woman about her past or what she's doing, it's like, you know, are you really in a position where you can judge me? Because we don't know anything about Imani's past. Not saying that she has one. I'm sure she has some skeletons in her closet like everybody else. But I kind of felt that her going in on Draya the way she did was kind of uncalled for. Yeah, but back to Laura and Malaysia. I am glad they were able to kiss and make up. And this is another thing where Gloria, she just, ugh. Why is she trying to keep it going after her sister, and in Malaysia that they've squashed it and made peace? Why is she still kind of trying to keep that stuff going? And I do agree with what Malaysia and her sister were saying. That was kind of childish of her to send a text message. But I know I'm the same way. When you got a bone to pick with me, or if you got something you want to tell me or ask me, especially if it's something that's kind of that's kind of touchy, I'd rather for you to call me. And that's just how I am. And for you to send, you know, for somebody to send a funky text message, that's that's just so childish. Because I've had that happen to me where somebody sent me a text message and what they said was kind of off cuff to me, and I didn't appreciate that. I came back, woo-wee. I had to, I don't even want to talk about it because it just gets me just thinking about it. But, you know, text messages, some things are just better said in a phone call where you can hear that person's voice. And, you know, even though it probably would have even still went at it if they had a phone call with each other, at least it would have been a phone call because, like I said, again, text messages, they're kind of bitch ass, they're kind of childish. So it's like, you know, you got something to tell me, you call me and you tell me. Don't just try to send in the text message because all that is just trying to avoid confrontation anyways. So, but that's how I feel about that. Well, basically the episode ended with all the girls being at a club in Los Angeles. It was a party at Draya's, or a party that she was hosting, I guess. But Draya was like saying all sorts of off things towards Malaysia, so I'm interested to see how that's gonna go over. Cause Malaysia, I mean, she's down for her, so we're gonna have to see how that goes over. But back to Draya. Rewind back to the beginning of this year. Towards the beginning of this year. It happened in January, actually. Draya Michele used to date Chris Brown. You know, Chris Brown, Rihanna's ex-boyfriend, Chris Brown. Draya Michele used to date him. And while she was dating him, she got child endangerment charges. What it was that happened, basically, and let me read just a tidbit of the story here so that y'all can, and I'll have a link to it in the information bar also, but this is what happened. It says, a 7-year-old Wyoming boy was coming home from school to an empty apartment and spending nights alone while his mother worked in Philadelphia Borough, police said Friday. The boy told police that he would get off the bus most days and wait for someone to leave or enter the gated parking garage under the apartment complex in the 100 block of North Park Road so he could get into the building, police said. His mother, Andrea M. Howard, 25 at that time, well, 25 at the beginning of the year, would leave the apartment door unlocked and microwave dinners in the freezer for him, they said. Police arrested Howard at the apartment Thursday night on a charge of endangering the welfare of a child. She remained free on $25,000 bail after arraignment before District Judge Ann L. Young in Reading Central Court. According to the court records, a policeman found the boy alone in the disheveled apartment December 16th about 2 a.m. after the boy called 911 and told dispatchers he was home alone. The apartment looked like it had been ransacked with women's undergarments scattered throughout the living room. A small dog was in a cage, and dog feces and dog urine were in several places in the apartment. It said Howard, who said she worked as a model, returned home about 8:45 a.m. and police told her that her son was in the care of the county children and youth services while they investigated. When you're looking at the preview of the next episode of Basketball Wives of LA, Jackie and Laura are actually reading this. I think it's Jackie and Laura. Jackie and somebody are actually reading this. No, it might be Jackie and Imani. I can't remember who exactly, but they were reading this together. Like, and that's when they were saying, "Oh, I don't want anyone like that around around me or in my circle," and with good reason. I mean, because when it comes to being a mom, you know how most real moms are. We're protective of our kids. We don't even want somebody that's had a record of that kind of behavior around us, let alone our children. But in the next episode where she's basically denying all of this, but I don't see how she could deny it, because what I'm reading right now, and again, I will have a link to this. This is actually, from the, actual news, from a reliable source. This didn't come from a blog site. It didn't come from a gossip site. This is from an actual newspaper website from where, this happened. At first I didn't understand why the girls are kind of coming down on her, but I kind of see, why now. And, but I don't know if Imani knew about this before or after the fact. So that's what gets me too. Did she already know about this, or was she really kind of turned off by Draya because of some other stuff, So, at any rate, it's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds. I will definitely try my best to keep y'all, informed and keep on doing these recaps. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to even do a recap of the Basketball Wives of LA, because honestly, when I saw them on a video of them on YouTube and everything, I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I like this, but I see where I'm kind of getting off into the show. And another thing, where was Kim Show in this episode? Did y'all see Kim Show in this episode? Because I didn't see her. I would like to see more of Kim Show and give her, and would have liked to heard more of her opinion on how all this was going down, But at any rate, this is Serena with DivineDivaBeauty.com. And like I said again, go to my channel, go to playlists, and then go to Reality Wives, and you will see all of my recaps that I've done on the reunion show for the Basketball Wives of Miami Season 3, Part 1 and 2. And this one here I'm doing tonight is basically just going to be a recap of Part 1 and 2, basically. Since I didn't do a recap on Part 1, a separate video for it, I'm kind of like doing both in one video. Love you guys. God bless. By all means, check out my beauty videos and my weight loss videos, because I am officially starting my weight loss journey tomorrow. So, well, actually I've kind of started before now, but I'm actually officially starting everything tomorrow. Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. So, good night. God bless you all, and peace.